Today's movie's a special request from Patreon supporter Anna Potapova, who asked me to review Pfink A Boo Boo. And I know what you're thinking, isn't the title of the movie Pfink and Boo Boo? Nope, as you can clearly see from the opening credits, the name is actually Pfink A Boo Boo. Supposedly the reason for that is when they were making the title sequence, the N and D were left out and they didn't bother to correct it. And that kind of attention to detail should give you an idea of what the rest of the movie is like, because even though this is technically American, we are squarely in Turkish knockoff territory when it comes to quality here.
I got the word for you because it's what you is a rat face, you is a rat face. If I had a nickel for every time you've let me down.
Pfink A Boo Boo is a 1966 superhero parody film from director Ray Dennis Steckler, who's probably most famous for making the infamous So Bad It's Still Pretty Bad movie The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies, which was memorably riffed on an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
No one's ever attempted an interpretive dance of Mein Kampf before.
Supposedly Pfink was meant to cash in on the Adam West Batman TV show that was popular at the time, but the timing on that's a little tricky. Pfink has a copyright date of 1965, which is a little before the Batman TV series started airing, but it didn't get released until September of 1966, which would be after. Considering the similarities to the Batman TV series, I kinda have a hard time believing this was somehow made before. Well, who knows, maybe Steckler lied about the copyright date to make it seem like his movie came first. Regardless of which date is right, this still definitely came out before Turkish Batman, which is weird because this seems like an American knockoff of a Turkish knockoff movie. Oh, I see this movie starting with Pfink's origin story where his parents are killed in an alley by a member of the B-52s. Or maybe this lady's the one who's gonna be the victim. Okay, good to know these thugs come with their own Joker and Riddler laughs. Jeez, hopefully the heroes show up pretty soon. Otherwise, this is about to turn into a 60s version of Irreversible.
Come on, I've got the money. Get out of here.
Wow, another crime successfully pulled off thanks to Pfink and Boo Boo. Oh, I'm sorry, Pfink A Boo Boo. Well, I'll give this to Pfink. His theme song's almost as groovy as Batman's. Despite this movie's mostly negative reception, fans are still hoping the Snyder cut of it gets a release someday. Ah, the 60s, a time when the entire world was in vintage Instagram filter. Anyway, let's meet our main character.
This is Lonnie Lord. Lonnie is a rock and roll singer. Last year, he sold 10 million records. His fans are legion.
Oh, really? Because they mostly look like 1960s housewives to me. Hey, I thought I was supposed to be watching a Batman parody. When did this turn into 60s Walk the Line? Oh well, let's see what Lonnie's music is like.
Come over here, baby, I wanna talk to you. I'm hip to your game, I'm nobody's fool. You're running wild,
It's not that bad, actually. We're less than 10 minutes in, and already I'm getting the feeling the director just shot a bunch of random footage and hoped he could splice it together into a movie. In fact, it seems like the soundtrack should go more like this.
Hey, we're the monkeys, and people say we monkey around.
Even if the music's okay, I'm not sure about some of this dialogue. This is why you never write the script to your movie by having your dog walk across the typewriter. Oh hey, looks like the criminals from the beginning are back.
Come on, man, let's not sit around here all day. We gotta do something. We just can't sit around. Let's go. Let's do something. We haven't done anything since last night.
Yeah, you can talk about doing something all you want, but the director needs more random filler shots to pad this out to feature length. Eventually they decide to commit one of the most heinous crimes imaginable, crank calling someone.
Hello?
Let me lick it. Lick it. Lick it. Let me lick your pretty piggy cunt.
Okay, that's not quite how the call goes.
Is this C.B. Beaumont?
Yes, this is she.
Are you C.B. Beaumont?
Yes, I am.
This movie is only a little over an hour long, and yet it still feels like it's stalling for time. Damn, this woman is so shaken up by that phone call, she just calmly goes about her day as if nothing happened.
Did you get my car from the repair shop?
No, ma'am, your father said he'd take care of it.
I guess I'd have to walk to the store now.
You can drive my station wagon to the store, ma'am.
Somehow I get the feeling this guy's killed a cat by petting it to death. You know, so far it looks like Rat Fink's a shitty superhero since crime seems to be running rampant around here. And did somebody say filler? Hey, so is that guy following her? I don't think they've established whether or not he's following her yet. I think they need to include several more minutes of them walking just to really drive it home to the audience. Oh, and you know where this scene is going? She gets some groceries and then makes it back home safely. Thanks, movie. Oh well, at least they keep Crank calling her.
Hello.
Oh shit, the criminals are at her house. Are they actually gonna do something this time? Nope, they just run away again. Maybe a random musical number will liven things up.
Well, it seems to me you love no matter what you plan to do. It's playing me for so cool. I got the word for you because it's what you is. You is a rat, Fink. You is a rat, Fink.
Even if this song doesn't really have much to do with anything, at least it's kinda catchy. So I'm guessing fake Carl Perkins here is gonna be our fake Batman, although considering the movie's almost half over, he might wanna hurry the hell up. But what am I saying? He can't become a superhero yet. We've got more filler to get to. So anyway, the criminals finally decide to do something and kidnap Lonnie's girlfriend, but first they'll have to get through the gardener.
Who are you?
Okay, that was easy. Listen, don't worry, lady. There's gonna be at least another half an hour of random filler shots before they actually do anything to you. Lonnie is so devastated when he hears his girlfriend's been kidnapped, instead of calling the cops, he sings a song?
I stand alone. I stand alone.
Well, it is true that some of the best music comes from tragedy and heartbreak. George Harrison actually wrote the song Something after his girlfriend was kidnapped and tortured by Hell's Angels for several days. In hindsight, he also should have called the cops, but it did lead to a good song. Lonnie gets interrupted when the criminals phone asking for a ransom.
Man, if you want your girlfriend back in one piece, you put 50 grand in the black case and put it in the garbage can behind 1213 North Highland tonight.
That's impossible.
I still need to finish writing this song. What are these two gonna do now?
There's only one thing we can do. This is a job for you know and who.
Hey, that's not the name of the movie. And now, Lonnie and Titus change into their superhero identities of Cameron Mitchell from Toolbox Murders and Mardi Gras Man. And it only took over half the movie's runtime to get us here. Hey, at least we got some footage of his girlfriend buying groceries before this. Supposedly the reason it took so long for this movie to get to the superhero part is that this didn't actually start out as a superhero movie. Originally it was intended to be a serious crime drama, but after shooting some footage, Ray Dennis Steckler realized that wasn't working and reportedly just said, fuck it, let's turn this into a goofy Batman parody. Well, I guess it could be worse. At least they don't have nipples sewn into their costumes. These two look less like they're about to fight crime and more like they're about to commit some. Didn't I see this guy in a Kids in the Hall sketch?
Don't try to follow me. I have a cab waiting. Eradicator!
Remember, Boo Boo, we only have one weakness.
What's that, Rat Fink?
Bullets.
Okay, that was kind of funny. Well, at least they seem to have some superpowers. Look at how fast they're going. Oh, okay, never mind. Pfink and Boo Boo are such courageous crime fighters, they sit back and hide when they spot one of the kidnappers. Okay, he's trapped. Now go get him. Or, you know, just wait until somebody lets him out and he gets away. Whichever you feel like.
Up to him, Boo Boo!
Jesus, even the soundtrack wants to flush this movie down the toilet. Eventually they make it to the criminal's hideout, but what about the ransom they asked for earlier?
Comic books!
Hang on, in a few decades those might actually be worth something. Provided none of them were made by Rob Liefeld, that is. At least now we finally get a fight scene, although in this case I think Bonk and Biff were just the names of some of the actors. And in case you thought an action sequence still couldn't have filler in it.
Yeah. Oh, careful. There.
You know, I've said the Turkish movies I've done on the show are kind of like watching the world's first fan films, but turns out America was making those first too. This fight scene goes on for so long, at this point I'm actually begging for Pfink and Boo Boo to suddenly go to a strip club for no reason. Unfortunately for our heroes, they soon discover that watching old Three Stooges shorts doesn't count as fight training. They do manage to subdue one of the criminals, but the other two get away with Pfink's girlfriend. It's a good thing they brought the Pfink cycle. The Pfink mobile is just a used Volkswagen Beetle, and the Pfink boat is just an inflatable pool hammock. And since this is supposed to be a comedy, I suppose they should put a joke in here somewhere.
Always look both ways before crossing a street.
Still better than Chicks Dig the Car, I guess. You know, maybe if I keep watching this for long enough, it'll turn into the opening credits of Night of the Living Dead. And for God's sake, would you catch these criminals already? Okay, even if they don't have the graphics, at least they say the sound effects.
Kogar, now you just come back here.
What? Who the hell is this guy?
Come on, get him! Get him! Look out!
And now there's a gorilla in the movie. Sure, why not? Hey, this movie's already a cash-in of something that was popular at the time, so might as well include the gorilla from Ape while you're at it. Look, even Boo Boo can't believe this plot development. The guy in the gorilla costume is Bob Burns, who's known for not only having one of the most impressive collections of sci-fi memorabilia around, but also played a gorilla in the 1970s Ghostbusters TV show. And part of me kinda hopes he still has Pfink's ski mask as part of his collection just to see if anybody recognizes it. Alright, time for Pfink to show us what he's made of.
You just hit the man, Kogar.
And apparently he's made of stupid.
That's naughty running away like that. Behave yourself. All right, I'm not mad anymore.
Yeah, now that gorilla and his handler are gonna go home and have some sweet makeup sex. Whatever, Pfink still got his girlfriend back. In fact, the city even throws a parade in Pfink and Boo Boo's honor. And by that I mean a parade was happening and the director decided to get as much footage as he could before being told to stop. Anyway, time for another musical number.
Go, go, party. Take it, go, chicks. A go, go, party. It's strictly for kicks.
Okay, again, I would make fun of the songs more, but they are probably the best part of this movie. As far as superhero parodies go, this feels like it could have worked as an amusing short film, but instead they decided to extend it to feature length. Even though it's only a little over an hour long, several sequences are padded out with a lot of repetitive shots to get it there, and as I said, the superhero part doesn't really begin until around halfway through. I will give it this though, the songs are catchier than they have any right to be. Well, I think I filled my quota regarding superhero movies for now, although I can't help thinking there was another big movie opening up soon and I should do a video related to that. What was it?